Mike Damergis with Lenny Melnick at a chilly Citi Field for the RotoExperts at the Ballpark for the Fantasy Sports Network. And first off, we went into the Reds locker room to talk to some of the players. And let's start off with Billy Hamilton. Certainly a speed guy. The Reds worked on bunting with him this spring training. But for fantasy players, he's really a one-category kind of guy.
Yeah, well, so far, that's what it's been. And, of course, that's what we're looking for. He's a guy that's got to learn plate discipline. He's a guy that's got to learn how to bunt. This is his first year, of course, and, it's all about learning the game. As far as getting on base, if he does that, as Brandon Phillips told me, well, he may not steal second and third every time, but it's a pretty good chance it'll be most of the time.
My main thing to steal the base is confidence. You got to have confidence. You can't be afraid of being thrown out. You can't be afraid of being picked off. That's my main thing. With Delano Shields told me when I got a baseball, he's like, if you want to be a base stealer, you got to have confidence. Don't be afraid of anything. So that's why I don't mind being picked off or thrown out. It's going to happen once in a while. So I just got to keep going.
Now at third base, they had Todd Frazier coming off back-to-back 19 home run seasons. He's a guy that fantasy players can look to for some power, kind of in the mid-rounds.
Well, not only did he hit 19 home runs, but he has the 12th and 11th longest home runs hit at Great America Park. As a matter of fact, he hit one just the other day, 474 feet. And in addition to that, as Todd told me, he had double-digit stolen bases twice in the minor leagues, and I think you could expect to see that again. As Todd said, he will be getting the green light.
I think a lot more. I do. We have with our new manager. He wants us to go more. Once we get the sign from him, I think if I have an opportunity, hopefully I'll get more bags than I have in the past.
And Joey Votto once was one of the premier first basemen in baseball. A couple of years ago, 2010, hit 37 home runs, 113 RBIs, but last year his numbers dropped. But he can walk, so he has fantasy value there for his on-base percentage.
Not only does he have a great on-base percentage, but he's got a tremendous on-base percentage with runners in scoring position. Now, there are some people that may call that a negative. Perhaps he's been a little too patient at the plate, but he does swing. He has swung at 24% of the pitches that were out of the strike zone. So let's face it, the guy's a great hitter. I'll say last year was a little bit of a fluke on the lack of RBIs. Wouldn't shock me if he has 90 or more this year.
And one guy that Scott Engel corralled up in the locker room was Homer Bailey. What can fantasy players look to for Homer Bailey?
Well, of course, when Homer Bailey first came into the league, he was pegged as a star. Maybe if he changes his name to Strikeout Bailey, he'll be better instead of Homer. But he has shown, as he did last year, that this could be the year that Homer Bailey breaks out.
And, of course, Aroldis Chapman got hit in the face with that line drive. If you took Aroldis early in the year, what do you do if you have him on your roster?
Make sure that you have acquired Jonathan Broxton, who, when he comes back, should get the role of the closer. We just don't know how Aroldis Chapman will react when he gets back on the mound again. So if you get a chance, you have to get Broxton.
One guy that has everybody talking, Lenny, is Tony Cingrani, a young lefty, 24 years old. He's got good stuff in his first start against the Cardinals, through 7 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts.
Well, some of the talk about Tony Cingrani has been that he needs to develop another pitch, and perhaps he does. So maybe he will not be a star this year, but as you said, 9 strikeouts in his first outing. Tony Cingrani is a very good pitcher, and Cincinnati has him as the number 4 starter right now. Expect him to move up on the rankings at Cincinnati. He should move up on your team as well.
Mike Damergis with Lenny Melnick here at Citi Field for RotoExperts at the Ballpark for the Fantasy Sports Network.